Good morning, Holiday Hill family. Josh here for Throwback Thursday, and today's Throwback Thursday takes us to the 1830s. There was a relatively new state called Ohio, and they were going places. And one of the places they were wanting to go was an area of land known as the Toledo Strip. There was just one small problem. There was a territory next door to them named Michigan, and Michigan claimed that they owned the Toledo Strip. Technically, Michigan was right. And the Toledo Strip was really important because it was a major waterway. You really couldn't get there any other way other than traveling via water. And before the advent of like trains and automobiles and airplanes, water was really the only way to travel. And the Toledo Strip was very important to both parties. So much so that things started getting vicious. It started escalating. Their governors started bringing together militia, and an all-out war started to begin. Both sides occupied the Toledo Strip, claiming it was theirs, and it went all the way to President Andrew Jackson. Now, President Jackson, he had a decision to make, and the decision, in his opinion, was very simple. And the decision was, Ohio State has electoral votes. They can swing presidential elections. Michigan's a territory. They don't have statehood. Though Congress thought it should go to Michigan, the president thought it should go to Ohio. And Michigan, around the same time, is now applying for statehood, and their statehood was blocked by Ohio. And an all-out war began. Bloodshedless, by the way. Though shots were fired, though obscenities were thrown out, no one died during the war that lasted for about 1 year over this small little territory. During this time, the people of Ohio had low view of people from Michigan. They said they were bloodthirsty, ravenous, and savage, kind of like a wolverine. And thus the name stuck. Yeah, Michigan liked it. They decided to take that jab and own it for themselves. And that's why the University of Michigan to this day is known as the Wolverines. Ultimately, Ohio got the Toledo Strip. Michigan gave it up, and in giving it up, Michigan got their statehood. But Michigan got something else in return. There was a peninsula kind of north of them, and they were given that upper peninsula as part of a consolation prize for giving up the Toledo Strip. At the time, everyone thought this was the stupidest thing ever. The upper peninsula, there's nothing up there. There's nothing good for anything but timber. Sometime later, precious ores and metals were discovered in that upper peninsula and aided the Michigan economy greatly. But at the time, it wasn't valued all that much. To this day, Ohio State and Michigan football teams play, and they say that football game is a continuation of the Toledo War. This is why Michigan and Ohio, to this very day, have quite a rivalry over a small piece of land. So what do we learn from this today? Pastor Albert this upcoming Sunday is going to be talking about taking things for granted. What happens when we take things for granted? There are people in your life who have invested in you, who have loved you, who have encouraged you, who have cheered you on and stood by your side. Don't take them for granted. There are opportunities, gifts, and talents that God is giving you in your life. Things that you do that not many people can do as well as you. Don't take those for granted. You're probably listening to this right now via a smartphone or a tablet or a laptop. You're probably living in one of the most prosperous nations in the world. Don't take that for granted. Friends, be thankful for what God has given you, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care, and God bless.